Hey guys, KingWars06 here and back with another video. In this video, I'll be going over the creation of another original character, Eijuu Blacka. In this video, I'll go over the new process I was hinting at in the previous intro video, my inspiration into creating Eijuu, and my ranking of UA's Big 3 in My Hero Academia. I hinted at this in my Nejiri Hado video, but let me just go over in depth the differences in my creation process, and this is the first character in which I tried this process. So what you guys are seeing right now is more of concept drawing. So I'm creating a multitude of faces. I created a base, and then I would just edit each base in order to create different faces. I wanted to get a clear picture of the direction I wanted to go for. The rejected faces could be used for other original characters down the road. In fact, I was thinking of some sort of like biker slash gangster chick who wields a baseball bat similar to Harley Quinn in the first Suicide Squad movie. I have not seen the second one. So yeah, I might execute that idea, but for the ones I liked, I copied them into different layers and made slight adjustments so I can get variations of the faces that I liked. This way I wouldn't have to completely redraw those faces. I can just erase what I wanted to change, draw more stuff, etc. For example, I might erase the eyes and change the eye shape. I might change the nose shape. I might even adjust the hair for some of them. Actually, in this specific one, I don't think I adjusted the hair. If I copied it, I simply changed the face in some way, the nose, the eyes, the mouth, the expression, whatever. This saves me time in terms of creating different facial designs. So once we have the final face, in this case, I decided to draw, because I already have the front view, so I draw the 3/4 view and the side view of the face. There is a character that I recently finished on Sunday. I finished a reference sheet for a character on Sunday in relation to when this video is coming out, and for that one, it was slightly different. It was different in the way that for the most recent character that I created, I didn't draw the other views, but the reason for I did this for Eijuu Blacka is because I know for the reference sheet, as you guys have seen, I do 3 faces. I do a front view face, I do a 3/4 view face, and I do a side view face. Usually the 3/4 view and the side view are all they're facing to the left. It doesn't really matter because if I have a symmetrical face, if the character's facing to the left or facing to the right, doesn't change anything. It's only when the face is asymmetrical in some way, so the hair is asymmetrical, or maybe the expression. But yeah, I just always like the character facing left. I don't know why, it's just a habit at this point. So once I have the face down, I get to the clothing. So I made a silhouette to represent the character. Doesn't have to be accurate. I just need something to put clothes on top of that looked something like a human character. It works for all intents and purposes for designing the different outfits very quickly, in terms of just what they look like, the colors, and all of that. So the silhouettes gave me the confidence to make the silhouette drawings for the Luffy drawing that came out on May 5th. That you guys saw, in which I made silhouette drawings to get the general idea, and then I picked one and then I expanded upon that to make a full drawing. So I also used the Sarada piece that you guys saw last week in order to prepare for that same drawing. And when I create One Piece art, especially when I'm doing art of Luffy, my objective is to show my utmost respect for One Piece and draw it the best way I can, which is why I don't consistently draw One Piece art, because I don't want to use it as some sort of stepping stone for my personal improvement. I want to use it to showcase my passion for One Piece, which is why I don't draw it very often, because I want to make sure when I do draw it, I am showcasing the greatness and badassery of the series. So getting back to the clothing, so I made a multitude of outfits. Once I would combine different elements. I would copy different elements and combine them if I liked them. I don't think I experiment with changing colors of any of these. So if I had any elements I'd like, I would copy them to another silhouette, And the clothing took way less time than the faces. Just for faces, I had to add more detail to make a clearer picture, but for the clothing, I just needed to jot down some colors, jot down some shapes, and get a general idea. So now that we have that done, we can move on to the actual reference sheet itself. The reference sheet itself is just a matter of putting in the concepts that I liked and drawing them in. I already had the clothing done. All I needed to do from that point was figure out some of the colors, eye color, skin color, hair color. Usually I wing it. Generally with reference sheets I wing it anyway. So there's that, and since she is a swordsman/swordswoman, I was going to wing the sword design and its colors, but I did bring in a reference of a sword that I liked, so I wouldn't be like completely winging the sword. So there's inspiration behind me creating this swordswoman character, and I'm going to discuss that in the next section. So on the screen now, you guys are going to see the inspiration behind creating Eijuu Blacka. This screenshot is one of the images that I have as my screensaver. I have a folder on my laptop that switches between images, and I randomly saw this on my laptop screen, and this inspired me. I really like the lighting and the overall colors, and Yamato really stands out against the blue and dark background. She looks like she's glowing, and the pose of her swinging her club is just so dynamic and free. By the way, this is from the ending of episode 1049 of One Piece, in which Luffy and Momonosuke fly back to the Skull Dome so Luffy can kick Kaido's ass, as he said he was going to do before. From the screenshot, I was initially thinking of redrawing this pose, but with a different character. But then I was thinking that I wanted this character to be an original character of mine. But at the time, I didn't have any weapon wielders. So I was pondering creating some kind of swordsman/swordswoman. And Zoro was also an inspiration because he is the second greatest swordsman in fictional history. And the first one would be obviously Monkey D. Luffy, aka Straw Hat Luffy, aka the 5th Emperor, aka Next King of the Pirates. And that's how we got to me actually creating the reference sheet for Eijuu Blacka. I'm going to be honest, this section I had this planned out for the Ninja how to Speedpaint. However, in the other two sections were simply too long, so if I put this into that video, it would have been 15 plus minutes for no good reason. So let me just talk about it now. So for now, I'm going to be ranking the big three of UA based off of their overall fighting strength and not actually how I like them as characters. So if I do a speed paint one of them again, I might go over how I would rank them in terms of the characters or how I like each of them individually. So between the big three, I think number one is Mirio Togata, hero named Lemillion. His quirk started out being a burden, but through training he became arguably top 5 quirks, excluding One for All and All for One, which are beyond powerful within the series as of the latest episode. He can hit you and then immediately become untouchable. Because of his precision, he was able to hit one of Chizuki's subordinates with a kick, but make sure that he didn't hit Eri in the process. With Sir Nade's guidance, Mirio has learned to predict people's moves to the point where he was still able to fight Chizuki after losing his permeation. With permeation, even if someone like Deku can come up with a counter, he has a counter to that counter. It goes to show how much experience can do, because due to his superior experience, he was able to counter Deku's just natural ability to come up with a strategy against quirks, given that Deku's looked at every single hero with a quirk. He's looked at Bakugo, he's looked at the entirety of his class 1B. Someone like him doesn't do anything to Togata. I mean, he beat practically the entirety of Class 1A while holding back, might I add. I know that Bakugo and Todoroki didn't participate, but I highly doubt they would have made a difference. And he has this special move called Phantom Threat. It's one of his ultimate moves. Using his permeation to immediately pop out of the ground, he can increase his movement speed and create even more force with his strikes. Downright the embodiment of power, which is likely why he likes to say power. So number 2, I have Tamaki Yamajiki, hero named Sun Eater. There's a great story behind that, so I think I do want to talk about that in the future video. Whenever he eats, turns into strength. That doesn't exclude things that aren't edible. Example, he ate a crystal and he was able to use the crystal's abilities. Again, through training, his quirk became better. He even has a move where he can manifest traits from multiple things that he's eaten, allowing him to just be more versatile overall. Tentacles, wings, claws, clams, and so much more. These can increase his mobility, his defensive capabilities, his offensive power, and so much more. There's just so much that he can do depending on his diet, and since he can manifest anything he ingests, he can grow and be able to consume poison or even sedatives. This is just one possible outcome, but there's still tons of potential for his quirk. And then lastly, we have Nedre Hado, hero named Nedre-chan, which I think is the least original out of the big three's hero names. Her energy spirals are first stated to be slow, however she's still able to pack a punch, and she's able to emit the spirals from her feet in order to fly around like her boss Ryukyu. So her quirk helps her with maneuverability both on ground and in the air. I just don't think she has nearly as much raw power as either Togeda or Amajiki, and her general attack range seems to be superior to Togeda's though. Amajiki has the best defensive capabilities of the big three for sure, and Togeda is just more of an attack and counterattack type. Nedre just blasts things and move around to avoid direct hits, so in comparison to the other two, I don't think Nedre's abilities are too impressive, which is why I rank her down at the bottom when it comes to the big three, but she's still powerful in and of itself. Obviously, she's a member of the big three, so she's still the best female of the entirety of UA, but I think that people like Uraraka and Yaoyorozu have a lot of potential to surpass her. I think their quirks allow them to just do more, and I think Ashijo also has potential to surpass her with her acid, especially with her Acid Man, which I may talk about in a future video. I think I've talked about it in the past, but I might talk about the potential of some of the members of Class 1A. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, check out my Twitter and Discord, both are in the description. If you want to know what I'm currently doing or thinking about, those two places are the best places to go. I will see you guys next time.